welcome to another episode on Sadhana World Foundation. As you know, we care about crafting young lives by imparting them lessons on moral values drawn from the rich history and heritage in our culture. In our past episodes, we have presented various stories on moral values like discipline, working hard, politeness, and many other such values. Today we are going to talk about friendship. As young children, people in our work life, we all encounter other people. Human beings are social animals and we all love to interact with people. We live in community. So we need friends. We work with friends. However, there are many times that we do not have the benefit or have the advantage or have the fortune of having the right kinds of friendships. There are several lessons in history which talk about the value of true friendship. Great friends in our epics, in mythological stories, and in episodes of history. Today I'll present to you a story from Panchatantra tales, which highlight the topic of friendship. Once upon a time, there was a lion in a jungle as the king. He used to live happily with some of his friends there. Of course, they were his citizens in his kingdom. A fox, a crow, and a leopard. The four of them used to go together wherever they went. And the lion used to bring the king, put prey on big animals, and these three people would get something out of the prey that the lion, the king, after he devours the food. They used to live happily. Suddenly one day they found a camel. So they were surprised, where does this new looking animal which has come into the forest? The fox talked to the camel and understood that the camel typically feeds on grass and used to live in a different environment, has got departed from his caravan and has strayed into the forest after having lost his way. The camel is confused, and camel is also scared of the new environment. The fox came and reported to the king. The king was the lion. He has a big heart, and he said that it's okay, it's a new animal, so let's take him into our fort and tell him not to worry. The camel now became part of the king's retinue. So now the lion, the crow, the fox, the leopard, and the the camel. So there were 5 of them. They lived happily. However, the camel was very unique, different. The camel did not eat what these 4 ate. The lion continued his habits. However, the camel received protection, received shelter from the king. Days passed. Everybody started growing in the jungle. Once there was a fight between a mad elephant and the lion. The lion got injured. The lion could not go out for days together for hunting. His friends, who were depending on this king, the fox, the leopard, and the crow, also were going hungry. The lion was hungry. These people were hungry. Lion said, go fetch some food from the jungle. The crow and the leopard and the fox went out but didn't get anything. Days passed. The hunger started growing. The camel was available to be killed and to be eaten. In the jungle, typically the ecosystem is such that the powerful preys on the weaker. That's the law of the jungle. That's how the animals and the birds and the species live together in the jungle. So the fox was quick to suggest to the lion, the king, why don't we prey upon the camel and satisfy our hunger? The lion said, no, I cannot go back on the words that I have given to this camel. I have offered him shelter and protection. I cannot kill him. So these three friends, who's the fox, the leopard, and the crow, started discussing how do they live and how do they protect the king. So the fox came up with a brilliant idea. He said, let's plan this idea. The plot was such that all the three of them would offer themselves as food to the king, and the king of course will not kill them, and these animals were small animals. So as per the plan, they went to the king and said that, hey, you are becoming weaker by the day. The crow offered himself, but everybody laughed and said that, hey, you are too small and it won't feed any of us. The fox offered himself, but fox is also very small. Now the camel was thinking that this is the time for me to show my friendship and my protector, the king, my life. I have to do it because my other friends are doing it. Each one of them were offering themselves, their lives to the king, saying that, O king, your majesty, you have protected us for so many years. Now all of us are going to die. So instead, you kill me. So this was very emotional for all of them. The camel thought at this emotional moment that he has to sacrifice his life because his other friends are willingly sacrificing their lives. And if they sacrifice their life, they would be considered great. So he thought that he would offer his life. So the lion thought for a while, thought that, okay, the camel is a big animal and is offering himself out of his own will. So even if I have given the word to protect himself, I'll not go back on my words because the camel is offering himself. He is not seeking protection. He is offering his own life to me. I can kill. So the lion killed the camel. All of them ate up the camels, had a good feast. The camel died. So what's the moral of the story? Of course it is fiction, Panchatantra stories. This is aimed at telling the young people about choosing the right friends. The camel thought that these four people, who are very different from him, extended their hand of friendship and offered shelter and protection. The camel did not think that what value he has to pay, what price he has to pay at some point in time in exchange of this protection or the shelter or the benefit that he is getting from his friends. There is no free lunch in this world. There is always a cost, there is a price that you need to pay, especially when it comes from unknown quarters. So the camel could not understand the plot which was right there in front of him. The camel thought them to be his true friends. However, the jackal or the fox and the crow and all of them were making a plan. They were mean. They had an objective. to trap the camel on some day. So that our Indian scriptures, mythological stories, are rich with several examples where they explain the concept of true friendship. Children are taught right from their early days in childhood. I was taught, I'm sure you were. Choose your friends wisely. We were taught that there could be many a times that a vessel of poison coated with little bit of nectar is not going to make this whole vessel nectar. You could be misled looking at the nectar on top as a vessel of nectar. A poisonous snake has his own habits, own instincts. If you are trying to make a poisonous snake as your pet, as your friend, then there could be a price that you need to pay someday. I hope this story was interesting for you. I hope you would be able to use this content in your conversations with the young people and help them grow stronger and better as human beings. Look forward to our future conversations. Thank you very much.